Starting off the openings with this interesting looking beer. This is Bad Bitch Baltic Strong Beer by Strong Women. It's from Devil May Care Brewing in Winnipeg, and this is their beer that is supporting International Women's Day. Seems that this was brewed by some female brewers, which is kind of cool. I'm going to have to spend some more time at Devil May Care. They seem like really interesting people. Oh yeah, that is a nice strong Baltic porter. So let's see what our first mail item is here. It calls itself an IC baseboard. What do we have? Ooh, transistors or something. 220 packages. These are LM337, which I believe is a voltage regulator. If I remember from ordering correctly, it's probably going to be an adjustable voltage regulator. Let's go check the listing and find out for sure. 10 pieces LM337T regulator, low dropout, negative, adjustable 1.5 amp TO220. Not sure if these are LDO or not, but it'd be cool if they were, but I don't think it matters to me. Anyway, I paid $3.34 for these 10, so 34 cents each. Not too bad. Yeah, just a standard regulator. The benefit of these ones is that you can adjust the output voltage of them and they will stay rock solid at whatever voltage you set. As the listing said, 1.5 amps maximum, and this is a negative voltage regulator, so the input and output voltage are negative with respect to ground, as opposed to the ones that you may be more familiar with. Anyway, minimum input is minus 3 volts, maximum is minus 40, and the maximum voltage output with a 40 volt input is minus 37 volts. And a really low component count around them, just like most linear regulators. Optional capacitor on the input for stabilization, optional, well, maybe not so optional on the output. And then this little resistor divider here, this can be a fixed or a variable resistor down there, and that will set your output voltage. Very straightforward to use. All right, next thing in, doesn't say what it is because it came through the reshipping warehouse in Toronto, so mysteries. Oh, it is surface mount devices. Yeah, I know I'm not a fan of surface mount. 'Tis the way of the future, so we'll just have to force myself to get used to them. These are a 4-pin device. They look like they could be LEDs. If they are 4-pin LEDs, that means they're either RGB or addressable. And I'm guessing probably addressable based on kind of things I was thinking about a few months ago when I would have ordered these. SK6812 Mini eRGB, similar to WS2812B. Pixel LED chip reverse mount individually addressable IC, full color, 5 volt. I got a 50 pack of them for $9.70 with, I think, free shipping. Yeah, looks like, $1.70 shipping. Okay. Still, these looked like an interesting little thing, and what do we know about them down here? Smart LED, yada yada. 3528 is the LED or the package size. So 3.5 millimeters by 2.8 millimeters approximately. 24-bit data to the data in, extracts, yada yada. So exactly the same as any other 4-pin addressable LED. Okay. May have to check through the libraries to find the exact format, but that shouldn't be too hard to deal with. All right, next thing in, this actually came from France, which surprises me. I did not expect that. Anyways, let's just see what I ordered. It is 2 little, just basic single pole, single throw rocker switches. I expect that 6 amps, 250 volts AC, or 10 amps, 125 volts AC. So just basic little power switches. Why would I have ordered these specifically from France? Well, I just ordered them from a random seller on eBay, and this is what happened. rocker switch, 2 positions on off, 250 volts, 6 amps. $2.90 Canadian, or €1.99. And I ordered 2 of them. I suppose I should have guessed that these were coming from France based on the fact that the description was all written in French, but you see enough French on descriptions here in Canada that you just get used to it and don't even think about it anymore. Regardless, the physical size is 21 millimeters by 15 and 24 high. So 21 by 15 is the cutout that you need in your panel. Yeah, not much else to say about it. It's a switch. So next in is the first of 2 things that showed up at my P.O. box. This looks like it came from one of those reshipping warehouses again, so I have no idea what's in it. There's no customs declaration or anything on it. Don't know who sent it. We'll just have to find out. Well, that's a bit of deja vu. These are exactly the same little switches as showed up anonymously in my last mailbag. Right down to the highly respected brand name on them. So I'm not sure if whoever sent these to me double ordered, or they ordered 50 and they just showed up as 2 times 25. I don't know. But thank you. Switches are always a useful thing, and I will definitely put these into stock and use them for something in the future. I appreciate the donation to the channel. And no, it doesn't say what store this came from or anything on here. And the last thing in is another thing that came to my P.O. box, again from a reshipping warehouse in Mississauga, so no customs declarations or anything else on it. And it looks like whoever bought this has been buying things from that same seller that includes that same generic thank you note in it. This is hardware, screws of various sizes. And I'm going to guess, based on previous statements that I've made, I'm going to guess that these are metric screws because, as I've said before, metric hardware is really expensive in Canada. So I'm thinking that that's probably what's happened here, is I've been gifted with some metric screws. So these are M4 screws in sizes from 18 millimeter down to 10 millimeter. So 18, 16, 14, 12, and 10 millimeter screws in countersunk flathead and Allen key 2.5 millimeter Allen key. Okay. Always nice to have a wider variety of hardware in stock, especially for stuff that is more difficult to get locally, and even when I can find it, it's revoltingly expensive locally. So thank you to my generous benefactor who donated these to the channel and sent them anonymously to my P.O. box. So there's the contents of today's Mailbag Monday haul. A variety and some interesting surprises. These LM337 negative voltage regulators will be used. The reason I got them initially was to add on to that homemade power supply that I built and be able to get additional voltages on the negative rail. I've already got some LM317, which is the positive voltage version of exactly the same thing. So I'll be able to add adjustable positive and negative voltage outputs to that homemade power supply. So looking forward to that. These power switches may go with that or may go with anything else. Switches are just always handy to have in stock. These SK6812 addressable LEDs. I just like playing with LEDs. Addressable LEDs are a cool idea, and as I said, I'm sort of thinking of an art project that I might do with these. If it works out, I'll show it to you in the future. If it doesn't, we'll just pretend this never happened. And then the surprise donations from anonymous benefactors. I'm not sure if this came from the same anonymous person or different. I have no information at all where these came from, but these low power switches are always going to be handy, and more metric hardware just to round out the stock in the shop. Always useful. Thank you so much to whoever you are. Thanks to you guys, all of you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. All of you guys for watching. I'm just always overwhelmed at the number of people that seem to enjoy these mailbag videos, and I really appreciate watching. I also appreciate the people who enable this, my YouTube channel members and my Patreon supporters who throw a couple of bucks into the tip jar every month and allow me to buy stuff just to experiment and tinker with and to show you guys, quite honestly. I really appreciate that. Thanks to everybody. Again, questions and comments down below as usual. If you actually really like these mailbags, there's a whole playlist of them just over in this corner here. I'll talk to you later.